Hello and welcome to this follow-up review on Bungie/Bungie.net. As always, I am your host, Captain Jackhammer, and I thank you for joining me. Well, it's been about 2 months since I did my original review on Bungie/Bungie.net, and as expected, I did lose some friends over it. But to my surprise, I also gained some friends as well. But with all the updates and changes that's been going on lately, I felt I should revisit this subject, thinking Bungie might improve on some of their customer service issues. Well, I was wrong, and let me explain why. And by the way, I will not be referring to Bungie/Bungie.net separately in this review, mainly because Bungie.net is ultimately governed by Bungie, and if they cared about the community like they claim to, they would fix the problems with Bungie.net. So both will simply be referred to as Bungie. But I only got 10 minutes, and there's a lot to cover, so let's get started. After my last review, I didn't think Bungie could screw up any more than it already had. But, if anything, Bungie is consistent. So here are a list of the issues in no particular order. The new playlists. They're terrible. They have eliminated Big Team Social and replaced it with DLC Big Team, which is a shadow of what Big Team Social was. There was no reason to get rid of Big Team Social except to give them a reason to redo Sandtrap, which didn't need it anyways. And I thought removing the elephants from Sandtrap was dumb because it was one of the things that made that map so unique. Removing the shield doors on Epitaph and Snowbound. As far as I know, nobody was complaining about Epitaph, and no matter what you do to Snowbound, it's going to be a terrible map. What's the old saying? You can't polish a turd. They added Squad Battle, which is something they tried in Halo 2 when they eliminated Big Team Battle from that playlist. And I might add, it failed miserably. Why else do you think it's not on that playlist anymore? The ranking and experience point system is ruined as well. Now, Bungie will say, but we didn't take away the experience points that you had earned. Which is true, but they made them worthless. It means nothing except on your service record, which is meaningless too because you have to re-earn all your ranks, not your levels, but your ranks, in each separate playlist, whether it be ranked or social. And each one has its own separate experience points. Now, the rank you had before the Title II update is still on your service record, but it's worthless as well as it will never advance beyond what it was before the Title II update. So basically, Bungie is saying we don't care about all the hard work and hours of gameplay you have put into the game over the last year. This is what we want to do, so deal with it. Even though Bungie reps themselves over the last year have stated in response to people who have been complaining about ranks and experience points, it's just a level, it's just a rank, why do you care so much? Funny how they take such a blasé attitude towards this when it's a regular Halo player complaining about it, but when the competitive MLG types start complaining, they sit up straight and listen. Which brings me to why Bungie did this. It's a continuation of a 10-month effort to cater to the competitive/MLG crowd, who benefit from the reworking of the ranking and leveling system. You see, competitive types have been complaining for months about non-competitive types becoming generals. I guess becoming a general is just a privilege given to competitive MLG types, and regular players don't deserve to have that. Now I know there's a lot of boosters out there, and I believe that those guys should be dealt with accordingly. But I think that it's wrong to lump everybody in to the same crowd and basically punish them and make them start all over. But that's exactly what Bungie has done. They have basically punished everybody and said everybody has to start all over. The redoing of the playlists and the maps stink with a competitive slant. People will say, well, Bungie gave the rest of us new achievements to unlock. Well, too bad you don't get anything for unlocking them except for some gamer points, and in some cases you don't even get that. But they could have introduced some new armor permutations if they were going to introduce new achievements. They did this basically to save face with the casual players. Competitive MLG players rarely, if ever, go into campaign. Now, don't get me wrong, the competitive MLG crowd is vital to Halo 3, but they should not be catered to exclusively. And something that I find unethical on Bungie's part is connecting some of these new achievements to the new map pack that's going to be coming out. Basically saying that if you want to get these achievements, you're going to have to buy our product. I think that's wrong, and I think that's clear evidence that Bungie doesn't care about the community. They just want to get your money and then cast you aside. Now, there is a rumor that Bungie is releasing new campaign levels. And I have to say that if that happens, I will be quite pleased, because I love the campaign mode. But with everything else Bungie does with Halo, I'm going to take this with a grain of salt until it's confirmed. Some of the same problems still exist that I covered in my first review. Recon. Instead of just giving it out to everyone, or at least giving the community a way to get it in-game, which solves any and all problems in regards to it, like spamming the forum threads about it, people getting their accounts hacked, the slew of machinima directors that would love to be able to use it in their films, they still only give it out to people that they know and like. Bungie favorites is still a joke. I don't need to say any more on that. Just look at the current crop of Bungie favorites and make your own determination. The file form system that they destroyed in May is still destroyed, and they haven't given any indication that they're going to fix it. And of course, the moderators of the forums are still out of control, drunk with power and treating people with disdain and disrespect at every turn. Another problem that I didn't mention in my previous review of Bungie is the inability for a player to lower their weapon over Xbox Live. More machinimas are made on Xbox 360 and Halo 3 specifically than any other console or game. And to ignore this is a slap in the face to all the hard-working machinima directors whose work is sometimes compromised because of this. If they can change just about everything else in the game and the online play, why not fix this? So, why does Bungie like to create animosity and dissension in the Halo community? I think they're narcissistic for sure, but I think it's mainly because they know that if they keep people strung along long enough, that they will ensure people will stick around. This is questionably unethical in my opinion, and they should realize that people would stay around if they treated them with respect. Another unethical practice by Bungie is the timing of the release of the map packs. The legendary map pack was released the same week that Grand Theft Auto 4 was released, ensuring that most would not jump ship immediately. And I will predict right here, right now, that when this mythic map pack is released, it is released either the week before or the week of the release of Gears of War 2. If I'm wrong, I will place an annotation on this video stating so. Something Bungie would never do. It's clear by Bungie's own actions that they want to create an aristocracy within the Halo community, with two groups, the haves and the have-nots. With the haves snug inside Castle Bungie-Stein, and the have-nots consigned to custom games. I would challenge anyone from Bungie Studios to meet with me to dispute anything that I have said here. They won't, of course, because 1, they don't care about what I have to say, and 2, they don't care what any gamer has to say about their product, unless you're an MLG competitive type in which they're going to sit up straight and listen. Which is fine, but then they should stop touting themselves off as a game developer for gamers, because clearly they're not. If anyone from Bungie does wish to discuss the issues with me, I promise I won't ban you, which is a consideration you don't give people in your forums who have dissenting views about Bungie. I was a successful retailer for over 17 years, and I can tell you that if any company treated its customer base the way Bungie treats its fan base, they wouldn't be in business for more than a year. Now, Bungie has made a great game, and I'm sure that they will make great games in the future. However, they are dissing their fan base, and most likely will continue to diss their fan base. And because of that, Bungie receives a dismal 3 out of 10. Thanks for watching. I'm Captain Jackhammer, and I will see you next time.